Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So, Jack Grealish to Manchester United is now off. Main explanation is because Jack Grealish has just signed a new 5-year deal with Aston Villa, which obviously includes a bigger buyout clause and a significant pay rise, so Grealish has committed his future with Aston Villa. Now, don't forget, he was on our agenda for quite some time. Jack Grealish did recently score a superb volley in Aston Villa's 3-1 win against Burton Albion in the Carabao Cup. But Villa said, didn't they, throughout the course of the saga, that they wanted around £80 million. And I obviously said that £80 million was far too much. Don't forget, we tried to include a few of our players as part of a deal of getting Grealish. We was willing to offer Villa Sergio Romero and Diego Dalot. But up until this point, Jack Grealish has spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. He's been a Villa player since the age of 6 and he's been in their senior squad since 2014. Before he signed this new 5-year deal, his current contract expired in 2023. So that's the breaking news on him. Sergio Regulion to Manchester United is also now off. So that's more negativity, because Fabrizio Romano came out recently. Also, too, David Ornstein said that Tottenham are closing in on the signing of Sergio Regulion. Nothing has been made official as yet. He mentioned that Manchester United have been in advanced talks with Real Madrid over getting Sergio Regulion, but we obviously haven't reached an agreement. Now, the main explanation why we've missed out on Sergio Regulion is because we didn't want a buyback clause included in the deal, and Real Madrid did say that they want to insert a buyback clause in any deal. But, it was looking very imminent at one point that Manchester United were going to sign Sergio Regulion, because you had Fabrizio Romano and several reports from Spain saying that Manchester United are close to signing Sergio Regulion. I think it also mentioned that we wasn't willing to meet their £27 million asking price. But Tottenham have agreed to clause for Sergio Regulion that Manchester United rejected. Now, I'm very, very disappointed that we're not going to get Sergio Regulion on the board, because I said it would have been very beneficial if Manchester United would have got a left-back in. We have got two predominant left-backs in the team at the moment, and that's obviously Luke Shaw. He's our first-choice left-back, but my element of concern about him is injury-prone. And Brandon Williams, he's our backup left-back. But I really thought Sergio Regulion was going to be our second signing in this summer transfer window. He recently said that he decided to come to Man United. Obviously, he wanted to make a return to Sevilla at one point, because Regulion was on loan with Sevilla last season, where he played around 38 games in all competitions. He also had a few loan spells with the Logrones. But he has been at Real Madrid for several years. I think he's been at Madrid since 2005. But obviously, he can't get in Real Madrid's team because Zinedine Zidane prefers the likes of Ferland Mendy and Marcelo ahead of Regulion. So, you already know the news on him. Gareth Bale. Now, I just want to give you some breaking news on him. It says that Tottenham are also closing in on the signing of Bale. Tottenham are in advanced talks with Real Madrid to get Gareth Bale, and I heard that Tottenham have agreed to get Gareth Bale on loan. So that means Gareth Bale will be reuniting with Tottenham. Gareth Bale is a former Tottenham player because he did endure 6 years with them before he went to Real Madrid. Now, it also says that we've been considering getting Gareth Bale on loan, because we're seeing him as one of our alternatives to Sancho. It did mention that Bale could be available for just 18.5 million. Bale has been training away from the Real Madrid first team squad recently, so that's fueled speculation up. But I'm sure Bale said that he wanted to leave Real Madrid permanently rather than go out on loan. But we've been in for Bale for several years. I think we've been in for him since like the David Moyes era. Now, Bale was very, very close to joining the Chinese Super League, was it last summer, because he was offered £1 million a week, but obviously his move didn't materialise. An unnamed Premier League club put an £89 million bid in for Bale. But he's had a long-running transfer saga, you know. Bale has enjoyed 7 seasons with Real Madrid, won a total of 13 major honours. Real Madrid paid £85 million for Bale from Tottenham in 2013. I think at that point it was a record signing. Bale's wages are substantial at Real Madrid. He's on like £600,000 a week. He's still under contract with Madrid till 2022. My only element of concern about Gareth Bale is that he is injury prone. So it looks like, you know, we're not going to get him on the board now either. Also looks like we're going to miss out on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Now, he said Jadon Sancho's transfer to Man United is being held up by the payments due to the player. Now, we did recently say that we are concerned over the competition we will face for Jadon Sancho next year if we miss out on him in this summer transfer window, because I presume next year the likes of Madrid, Barcelona, and maybe even Liverpool will go in for him. Now, Lucien Favre, the Borussia Dortmund boss, he recently said that Sancho will be staying at Dortmund. You know, Sebastian Kehl, their sporting director, said that Sancho will be playing at Borussia Dortmund this season. But we are not giving up on the signing of the player. But I don't think he's going to come in. I said Sancho's transfer to Manchester United won't happen in this summer transfer window unless Borussia Dortmund reduce their asking price. And Borussia Dortmund won't reduce their asking price because Borussia Dortmund do remain ruthless over their valuation. Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million. And we're not determined to meet their valuation. Now, we hope to sign Sancho by the time we play Crystal Palace. You know, we play Crystal Palace on Saturday, the opening day of the Premier League season. You know, Sancho's held several talks with Solskjaer and he's told Solskjaer that he wants to play for the football club. Obviously, we've already confirmed that we'll give Jadon Sancho the number 7 shirt because obviously we've got number 7 vacant at the moment. Now, Fabrizio Romano said not too long ago that the personal terms, the agent fees, and a contract worth 250 grand a week had been agreed. Obviously, this contract would make Jadon Sancho the third highest paid player at the football club behind David De Gea and Paul Pogba. But what Fabrizio Romano said recently, he said the exact same thing last month. He said Sancho had agreed personal terms and it said he was set to sign a 5-year deal with Man United, but just after that, he said that talks had broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But, you know, it did say a few weeks ago that we'd abandoned our chase for Sancho until the summer of 2021. Don't forget, you know, Dortmund said last month that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. Obviously, we missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. Mike Phelan, our assistant, though, recently fueled speculation up. He said Man United could be closing in on the signing of the player because he's been recently following Jadon Sancho on Instagram. But from my own perception, he's too expensive. I don't think he's worth what Dortmund are demanding. I think he's worth probably from between 70 to 80 million pounds. But I've already outlined the reasons why I wanted Man United to sign Sancho is because he's predominantly a right winger and Man United are in search for the right winger. He's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. He's got good physical attributes and he is still very, very young. Sancho's enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid £8 million him from Man City back in 2017. Sancho's still under contract with Dortmund until 2022. But don't forget, Dortmund have let quite a few of their big names go in recent years. Let the likes of Aubameyang go, Ukwan Gundogan, Mkhitaryan, Shinji Kagawa, Lewandowski, Usain Dembele, Matt Hummels. So they're all the players that they have let go. But yeah, we're looking at a lot of alternatives now to Sancho. Bale's not only one, Douglas Costa, he's been another alternative. João Felix, he's been another alternative. Usain Dembele's been an alternative. Rabbi Matondo's been an alternative. We inquired about David Brooks a few weeks ago. Kingsley Coman, he's also been another alternative. So, this summer transfer window is getting worse for Manchester United. The only positive is that we've obviously signed Donny van der Beek. We got Donny van der Beek in a deal worth £40 million. Paid just over 34 million up front with like 4.4 million in add-ons. Donny van der Beek signed a 5-year deal with Man United to keep him under contract with the club until 2025. There's also an option of a further year. We know he's wearing the number 34 shirt. And he will be making his Premier League debut this weekend against Crystal Palace. He recently made his debut for the club in our 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season. Donny van der Beek will bring a lot to Man United. He'll bring goals, he'll add depth. And I think he'll complement the likes of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. But Solskjaer confirmed that he wants to make 3 more signings after Donny van der Beek. There's around 3 weeks left of this summer transfer window, or just under 3 weeks left of this summer transfer window. And Manchester United have still got quite a lot to do. It's quite obvious we've got to make more signings. There's still key areas where Manchester United are lacking. Like I said, we need a centre-half. Despite the fact that we've got 7 centre-halves in the team, we need someone to go alongside Maguire in our back line. I said it would be beneficial if we could get a left-back in. We also need to sell players in this summer transfer window, and we are struggling to offload our fringe players. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira. I think we need to get rid of him. I heard that, we're close to getting rid of Chris Smalling. If Chris Smalling leaves, he will go back to Roma. He was out on loan with Roma last season. I heard that, Roma could agree a £20 million deal for Smalling, because I think we've said anyway we want around £20 million for him. Rojo, we're looking to get rid of him. Phil Jones, we're looking to get rid of him. Diego Dalot, we're looking to get rid of him. And Sergio Romero, he's open to leaving the football club, because Romero's not going to want to stay at Man United when he's third choice goalkeeper, is he? Because he's third choice goalkeeper now because Dean Henderson has just recently returned. But we sell players in this summer transfer window, will generate money, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. But Solskjaer has recently been very infuriated with our board over the lack of transfer business in this summer transfer window. But we've been critical of the board anyway for several years, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. Obviously, we've overpaid for players in recent years. I think, we've made a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years. The managers that we've had since Ferguson haven't been backed enough. I think there's a lot of players that we've brought in the last 7 years that haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. And we've brought over 30-odd players in since Ferguson's retirement and spent close to the £1 billion range. There's also some players we've given contracts to who we shouldn't have given contracts to. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So Woodward's been with us around 8 years and the Glazers have been with us around 15 years. But Solskjaer, in my own opinion, isn't getting backed enough in this summer transfer window, and I think he does deserve more backing. The way that he has rejuvenated Manchester United. Because don't forget, the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Solskjaer was very close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. And obviously, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming into the club. And obviously, at that point, we was very, very critical of Solskjaer. But I honestly feel as though that he is progressing as Manchester United manager, and he's totally blameless in all of this lack of transfer business. Because Solskjaer's even publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend in this summer transfer window if we are to be up there competing with the likes of City, Liverpool, and now perhaps Chelsea. But like I've said to you, there has been so many players on our agenda. This summer transfer window, Solskjaer's fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. Since Solskjaer's come into the club, he has spent over £200 million. He's obviously brought 6 senior players in. So last summer he brought Daniel James, Wan Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January he brought Bruno Fernandes and obviously brought Odion Ighalo on loan. Don't forget Odion Ighalo was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. And just after lockdown, we extended his loan until January 2021. And Solskjaer's also brought a few academy players in. That's very positive news because it's good that we're bringing more young players in. There's a lot of good young players that are coming through at Manchester United, and there's young players that have got foreseeable futures at Manchester United. And to be honest with you, I do like the way Solskjaer's promoted the youth. Like I said to you on one of my videos I did yesterday, Solskjaer's set a challenge for our academy players to obviously replicate the likes of Mason Greenwood and Brandon Williams. But I think the young players that have got bright futures at Man United is Tiedemann Menga. He made his senior debut for us, by the way, in the Europa League. Ethan Galbraith, he got promoted into the senior squad not too long ago. James Garner. There's obviously been rumours about him going out on loan. Yeah, so, we have got, a lot of good young players. But like I said, it's very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. Obviously, we've got Crystal Palace on Saturday. The preview should be coming up for that tomorrow. Obviously, after Crystal Palace, we have got Luton in the League Cup. And then our second league game is Brighton. So we should win our first 3 games, to be honest with you. But within our first 7 games, we've got Arsenal, Tottenham and Chelsea. And I think Everton, and they're all going to be very, very difficult games. But this season is going to be Solskjaer's second full season at the club. And this season is definitely big for Solskjaer and Manchester United, because if things were to go wrong this season, then Solskjaer may be back under pressure. But if things were to go right, then, more Man United fans will be convinced that Solskjaer is a foreseeable future for Man United, and we could possibly even extend his contract. But he knows this season that he has got bigger expectations to exceed. Because I think our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. That's if we do make a couple of more signings in this summer transfer window, which I don't think is going to happen at this moment in time. Because we do want to challenge for the title this season, because don't forget, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, and we haven't mined any title challenge up in the last 7 years. I'm hopeful that we can win some silverware under Solskjaer this season, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under him. Obviously, last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club. To be honest with you, did quite well. Did exceed most of his expectations. Obviously, got us qualification for the Champions League. We also finished third. and we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. The only expectation we didn't exceed was winning any silverware. But if we had to make any more signings in this summer transfer window, I think our expectations this season will be to win a trophy, like I mentioned, and to finish in the top 4 and get qualification for the Champions League. We need to see improvements this season. There's still aspects of our game that I've got to improve. I still think there's certain players that I've got to improve at Man United, and Solskjaer's decision making has also got to improve. But don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in. I think definitely our recruitment's improved under him. Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Man United. I think there's a hell of a lot of players that have improved under him, especially the top players. We are unbeaten in the league since January, so we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. But it weren't so long ago that Solskjaer gave us an update on our summer transfer plans, and he says we still remain active in this transfer market, and we're still looking to add more additions to the squad. But he said he wouldn't be disappointed if Manchester United did not make any more signings, so he would be content without any new signings. But a lot of things has gone wrong throughout the course of this summer transfer window for Man United. Not only the lack of transfer business, obviously we had that incident with Harry Maguire last month. Obviously, got arrested in Greece and then obviously went to court in Greece. By the way, Solskjaer's confirmed that Harry Maguire will remain Manchester United captain this season. This season's going to be his second season at the club. Obviously, last season was Harry Maguire's first season at the club. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. But he's recently been given extra time off as Maguire. Brandon Williams, don't forget, got injured. That was the other bad news. Don't forget, Wan-Bissaka had to miss the start of pre-season training, did he? Because he had to quarantine for 14 days because he'd been to Dubai, was it quite a few weeks ago now? Wan-Bissaka just needs to improve his attacking intent because that's what he's lacking at the moment. This season's going to be Wan-Bissaka's second season at the club. Last season was his first season at the club. We got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. Don't forget Paul Pogba. He tested positive for coronavirus a few weeks ago. The good news is now he has recovered from coronavirus. He was in training not so long ago. But Solskjaer's confirmed he's a doubt for Crystal Palace. Probably won't be involved in the Crystal Palace game, Paul Pogba. I think the thing we need to do with Pogba is get him a new long-term contract at the club to end the uncertainty over his future, because he has had a long-running transfer saga. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. Don't forget Rashford as well, had an ankle injury. He's now back from that ankle injury, obviously, but I think he missed both of England's games in the Nations League due to his ankle injury. He had a back injury for us last season as well, and he was out for a few months. We've had issues with Mason Greenwood recently. It said that Solskjaer's set to hold talks with Mason Greenwood over his private life. I think Mason Greenwood's definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. Don't forget, we recently gave Mason Greenwood the number 11. He's going to become the fourth Manchester United player to wear the number 11. So we've had a lot of negativity throughout the course of this summer transfer window. But like I always said, Solskjaer needs another season because it is a transition period at Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. Like I said, Solskjaer is our fourth permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. We've obviously sat 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was obviously Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. In the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. We haven't only had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players. You know, we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and League Cup under Jose Mourinho. You know, in the entirety of our history, we've won 45 trophies. Obviously, 38 of them trophies came under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. You know, the vast majority of our success came under Sir Alex Ferguson and that. But don't forget, you know, Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. You know, you've obviously got Jurgen Klopp now at Liverpool. He's doing well, but he didn't settle in straight away. His record after like 20 odd games, you know, weren't so good. So some people believe that if Solskjaer gets the time he wants, then he can emulate into the next Jurgen Klopp, because I want Solskjaer's managerial tenure to work out, because at the end of the day, he's a club legend and he was a great player for the club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. But, you know, you can see what Solskjaer's trying to do. He's trying to change the culture of the club. You know, he's trying to bring the right calibre players in. He's trying to get Manchester United back to where they belong. Solskjaer had a habit of, you know, promoting young homegrown talent since he'd taken over the reins at Manchester United in December 2018. And Solskjaer hasn't got a fantastic pedigree behind him, and this is why there's some Man United fans, well, a lot of Man United fans that are convinced that we won't win the title under him. But he has got that managerial experience behind him now, reflects on how long he's been with us. He's been with us now over a year and a half, and Man United is the third club in his managerial career. I think for the game on Saturday against Palace, we should have a fully fit squad, shouldn't we? Luke Shaw's just recovered from an ankle injury. Rashford's now back from that ankle injury. Is Tuanzebe still out with injuries? Phil Jones still out with injury? I'm actually not sure about that. Is Brandon Williams now back from injury? So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.